Hello Internet, it is I, the Roshi, and I'm back with another reaction. This time, it's Wriothesley's demo. Let's get into it.
The Iron Lion Team Arena Showdown, huh?
There's a ton of credit coupons up for grabs, but you'd have to beat the undefeated champion to get them.
Oh? I'll give it a shot then.
Alone?
What, don't think I'm up to it?
That's his grace for you. He single-handedly made it to the final bout.
Finally. Now let's see who it is.
Please put your hands together for our undefeated champion. The rules for this match, anything goes. Fighters, test your might. Fight!
Just as I suspected. Let's do some scrap disposal then. Have a safe trip.
Ow, ow, ow.
Let this be a lesson. The next time someone disables the security restrictions on a Gardamek without authorization, report it to me promptly.
Yes, Your Grace.
Oh, please, you love a challenge in the ring, don't you?
That's why I asked for a timely report. I'll decide how to dispose of the problem.
Alright. Wriothesley keeps surprising me, and it's been amazing each and every time. I'm going to talk about the music again real quick just for a moment here, because it always needs to at the very least, be mentioned. I think Wriothesley is one of those characters who's had very diverse sounds in each thing that they've appeared in. During his segment in the 4.1 trailer, it was kind of dubstep-like, and then in the teaser we had this piano music. Now, we're just in the club. We got some techno dance mix stuff.
I don't know music terms.
It's a really different feel compared to everything else that we've heard so far. But it fits with what's going on. Like I said, it sounds like something you'd be dancing to, but there's still a little bit of like almost like a retro arcade vibe to it, like old school video gamey. I don't know, there's something about it. And in this you have Wriothesley entering a fighting competition, so I mean, it feels very Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat-esque in a way. Now I'm going to talk about the overall design and style of this demo. It is so cool. I love the comic panels that they use in this. It was very prominent, and I love it. Something about it. I mean, if you notice my thumbnails in some of my videos, I even kind of do the comic split screen stuff for that because I think it's cool. I like it. Go watch those, by the way. Thanks. You also have like the challenge intro screens where it shows the character or the team with the name behind them, and oh man, it's just, there's something, I don't know what it is. Like I said, it feels very video game arcade-like, and I love that feel. I like it. Let's talk about the things that happen in this. There is a tournament. Wriothesley enters. It's for these credit coupons, which I guess is either some currency that is happening within the fortress maybe it's Fontaine. I thought Mora was the currency, but maybe Mora is strictly Mondstadt, and the name changes depending on where you are in the world, because that's how it naturally works in real life anyway. Either way, there is a big reward to defeat this undefeated champion. And Wriothesley leaves, grabbing his handcuffs. And yes, you can argue that, sure, the handcuffs are just part of his design, or he's always leaving prepared. But from this little motion here, I feel like he knows that something fishy is going on. Wriothesley didn't have all the answers when he entered this, because later we see him say, just as I suspected. So he didn't know for sure, but he knew something wrong was happening. Maybe that ties into other events that have happened within Fontaine, or things that will lead into other events, such as these mechs being hacked, or possibly even getting a mind of their own and doing things that probably aren't safe when they're, you know, built for the purposes of security originally. That'd be interesting to deal with. Either way, Wriothesley goes through all these different challengers, just smoking everybody. And he gets to this champion, defeats them, gives a little scolding at the end, and all is right. It's a very straightforward story. I think it's really cool that we see Wriothesley here as a character who would totally enter one of these things just because he wants to. And of course, yes, he is investigating, but come on, you know he wants to get scrappy. In his teaser, I talked about the 2 wolf head pendants that he has on him. One's on his chest, the other's on his hand, and I was like, what does it mean? One guess I had was that it was a symbol of the fortress, which might actually be correct. But also, Cerberus, the guard dog of Hades, and his head makes up the 3rd head, the center head. Boom, boom, boom. And when he's doing one of those special attacks, it actually shows a couple frames of the beast head, and it's just, oh my god, it's awesome. I just absolutely love the amalgamation of all this different folklore and stories, gods, just all of this stuff from all these different cultures being intertwined and connected to the overall story of Genshin and the characters within it. It's too cool. Wriothesley, of course, doing his job, trying to investigate what's going on, but also he wants to get punchy. You know he does. He doesn't care about the credits. He's a freaking duke. He has some high status. He is like the leader of this fortress, and like, you know, come on. He just wants to hit someone in the face, but then show very good sportsmanship afterwards. He was fist pounding, shaking people's hands, helping them up. He's a good dude. Shows up with an air around him like, I'm gonna kick your ass, without saying to you that I'm gonna kick your ass, then proceeds to kick their ass, and then gives them the handshake afterwards. You know, GG, man. His weapon's pretty badass. He's got these cryo rocket powered mech gauntlets. I say this all the time. I really like the brawling. The brawling is cool. We need more of it. I want more characters that will throw hands. I want more pugilists. One thing I want to mention real quick, going back to visuals, but still talking about this rocket punch he's got. You know, Wriothesley hits this champion in the freaking face, and perspective shifts, and because it's a mech and it's like a visor, it cracks, and then it transitions into the next scene. I really like the perspective change. That effect is so cool, and it's also like, you know, crack the case. Why do I do this? And then they even have the Melusine that was in the Overture teaser here. I looked up how to pronounce her name. I think it's Sigewinne. Sorry if I'm getting that wrong. But we have Sigewinne here hanging around Wriothesley. Her head bobbing around in the background in the beginning, and then at the end, she's kind of being a little medic, and even pokes fun at Wriothesley as well. I'm looking forward to seeing them interact more, because I feel like it's pretty humorous and funny, and, you know, like there's a good relationship there with a little bit of comic relief. And I don't know, that's cool. It's wholesome. Oh, and at the very end, you see this shark patch fly around the screen. But I actually took a second to look at it. It's Wriothesley as a shark. It's pretty funny. And I thought about it, and it's not just funny, but it makes sense. Wriothesley, of course, being the man he is, would have a reputation everywhere he goes. And when he ends up in the underbellies, he's a freaking shark. On his character's splash screen, when that popped up, it said, Lord Incognito of the Murky Depths. That just screams shark. You know, Fontaine is all about water, and you know mariners would call sharks sea dogs. So it works out, Cerberus guarded the entrance of Hades. But every once in a while, Wriothesley enters deeper into the fortress and becomes the shark. Because we already know that the fortress is already underwater. Fortress Meropide is a play off of Meropes, which is a parody of Atlantis. And the fortress is underwater. It makes sense. It's tied together that way. He's guarding the fortress at the front, you know, doing his job, being the Duke, being the guard dog, being Cerberus. But then every once in a while he goes into the underbelly of the fortress where there's some action happening and takes a look around, lurking, making sure to take care of business when it's in need of being taken care of. The art of improvisation. Does what he has to do, goes where he needs to go, and figures it out as he does it. And does it so well that it might as well be considered art. So it's really cool to see this side of him. In the teaser, there's a plan, and he gets himself involved because he wants to take care of it in a very specific, careful way. And then here, he gets involved. However, he doesn't know the full story, but he knows he's going to figure it out, and he's just going to have to work off of that. And, you know, in this case, because it called for it, he uses his dukes. He's a duke using his dukes. Oh my god. Anyway, as always, this was a lot of fun. I'm not going to say this was my favorite demo because there's others that feel more epic on a grand scale, but at the same time, I appreciate this one for what it is because it's just a pocket of this character's life, and it could branch off into other things that are happening in, you know, the bigger scheme of things. This was a breath of fresh air, and my brain really needed it, and it was still cool because we got to learn so much about this character, and that's what these are for. So it's definitely up there. Wriothesley is still, I mean, is Wriothesley best boy? He might be best boy. Stiff competition though. You gotta let me know in the comments down below. Who's best boy? Is it Wriothesley? Is it someone else? You gotta tell me. You gotta tell me. You gotta let me know. Can you let me know? You gotta tell me. What do you think? But with that said, thank you so much for joining me as always. I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. And if you're not subscribed to the channel already, please consider doing so because I really would like that support. It helps me make more of this kind of stuff for you. Even liking, sharing, commenting, all that good stuff helps me out, and I'm forever grateful. But that's it for me, guys. If you made it this far in the video, then you know what to do. In the comment section down below, within your message, leave the word fight. And that way, I will know that you are indeed a real one. Thank you so much for joining me. And until next time, shine on, you crazy diamonds. Later.